Well, you heard there what Jason Cundy has to say. He got a red card. He's going to be banned for 3 matches. Do you think it could be extended? Do you think it should be?
No, I think he just walked into him. It wasn't even a headbutt. I think he just walked into the defender, into Andersen.
Come on, Didi.
If it's a proper headbutt, I can understand to extend the ban, but he just walked into him. I think three games is enough. And he shouldn't do that. Yes, we all agree he shouldn't do it.
Are you, Didi? Are you sure? Are you sure? Not on the ban. Are you sure he just walked into him though? Because I think it looked pretty deliberate.
When I first saw it in real time, I thought the defender maybe made a little bit more than it was. But obviously afterwards, you saw that I think he hit him on the chin. But yeah, I'm not sure whether there's extensive force with his head. I think he just walked into him, and yeah, he shouldn't do it. Of course, he let himself down, let the team down. Didn't help Liverpool, even though after he was sent off, they started playing better than with him.
No, I think they certainly did, Didi. However, obviously last night was a blow, because I thought they would have probably got a good Palace performance, but clearly they had a better opportunity with 11 men on the park. And not only that, they're now certainly going to miss him for the next 3 games. One of them, which is the first one, the next one rather, is now absolutely vital. Everybody's talking about the poor season that Manchester United have had start of the season, and it's been a very, very poor season. However, Liverpool already, I know it sounds ridiculous after 2 games, but we're talking about 4 points behind Manchester City. Liverpool have got to beat Manchester United.
Yeah, probably. The way City are going, if you don't win, it could be 6 or 7 points. And obviously this early in the season, you don't want to get behind, because you know how hard it is to make up points on City. So it is a vital game. They will be without him. And, they just have to find another way, because obviously we saw again yesterday that they're struggling to get goals from midfield. If the front 3 don't score, if they don't score off a set piece, they don't score. And they need to find a way without him now. Shota probably won't be back, but the form of Diaz in the last half hour certainly was encouraging. Yeah.
Just on the midfield there, did he mention obviously Milner, Henderson, Fabinho? They're all not similar players, but they're not like a De Bruyne, who can find that killer pass or break the lines. Do you think that's a position that obviously with Thiago being injured now as well? Do you think it's a position you might look at before the window closes?
Well, the manager said, they don't buy a player; it's got to be the right player. And I think the owners made it clear in the last few years they don't, they don't spend fortunes on players they don't really want. And sometimes it's hard to buy a player for 3 or 6 months, because what's happening if when Thiago comes back and maybe Keita finds some form. But I think it's their Achilles heel. If you look at the team, I think defensively they're brilliant. Going forward, they're very good. Obviously, with Nunez, we need to see how many goals he will score. But a goal scorer in midfield is what's lacking, because I think last season they got 12 or 13 goals from midfield, and I think Fabinho got 7 of them. Mm-hmm. If you look at Manchester City, you got Gundogan, De Bruyne, I think they average over 10 goals a season. So that's the only position, a goal scorer in midfield, somebody who gets you 6-7 goals from open plays, for me the only position they're lacking.
I wanted to ask you, from where you were sat looking at Crystal Palace's performance, there are some wonderful players that play for that team. What did you think of Zaha's goal?
Brilliant. The 2 players are probably the standout players. Eze, I love watching him. Obviously, he had a bad injury last year. Started watching when he was a QPR. Actually, he's brilliant. He's a joy to watch. And with Zaha, for some reason it didn't work out Manchester United. Obviously now we found out that other players also didn't work out at Manchester United, but for me he's a player who's got to play in the Champions League. He's got so much ability, in the way he took his goal, the pace, the way he times his run, and the finish is it was a great ball by Eze in the finish to match, because Shea will tell you from that angle, sometimes as a defender you say go on, have a shot from there. But I think he comes off the inside of the post, and he couldn't have placed it any better. Absolutely brilliant. And Palace, as you said, Laura, I love watching them. It's a very tenacious team. They've got some skill in their team. They've got physical players. They've got pace. They shouldn't be underestimated.
Can I ask what sort of we can see from the outside the job that Patrick Vieira is doing, but as a manager, what do you think he's doing with that team that is managing to get so much out of them?
Well, I think you've got a manager who galvanised the whole club by buying into the players and just making them feel welcome and create an atmosphere where they are happy. And I think that's what it's all about these days. I think the days are gone when the manager came in and said, I want you to do this. If you don't do it, you've got to find another club. I think you have to have that man management skills. You've got to know who your players are. We talk about people, not about players. And I think that's what Vieira does. He's very empathetic. And to get the best out of the players, you need to understand the players and listen to them. And I think that's what he does. And I think that's why he's got a huge career ahead of him in management. For me, he was one of the best, if not the best, centre midfielders in my time playing the game. And I think he can, play a similar role in management the way he's going.
Didi, we spoke briefly about the importance of the game on Monday night now, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Can you remember seeing a top team going through a crisis like this at Manchester United, where when you look at the players, look at the games, look at the way they're playing, they just look totally devoid of any confidence at all? And what's it going to take to get them out of that?
Well, I don't think there's an easy fix, and we've seen teams in the past, lose 2 or 3 games, and then they pick themselves up again and go on a run and go unbeaten for a few weeks. But the whole club is in disarray, and I think what's really scary in Manchester United's case that the connection with the fan base is gone. I think all the fans lost belief in the club hierarchy. In the CEO, in the manager's only been there 5 minutes, and he's already under the pressure. People talk, if he gets beat by Liverpool on Monday, he could be on his way. And obviously that's a situation that's not helpful to anyone. And I think this is how bad the situation is at Manchester United, that the whole club is disconnected.
Okay, Didi, thank you very much for coming on. Take
Thanks,
care.
mate. Have a good day, mate.
Good to see you, man.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.